Welcome back to another episode of Hello Redlow. I'm your host, Terry Mullen, and I am so happy you're here. Today we are going to talk about stepping forward in life into new things, new beginnings, new seasons, and through life's transitions. So sit back and listen in. Author Nora Roberts said, "If you don't step forward, you are always in the same place." It really got me thinking about how do we step forward with our life towards new things, new beginnings, new seasons of life, and into transitions, especially at midlife. Because change is hard, growth is hard, but staying in the same place is even harder. And as we grow, we are stretched and challenged to step into new things. I'm in that place now, of course, being midlife, feeling that challenge, but also now writing my book, something I've wanted to do for so long. But it has stretched me and challenged me in ways I never expected. There's been this whole metamorphosis that's happened as I have written about how we step forward and into transitions. And I've gone through my own growth through this as I write and encourage others and share my story. Once again, it's like a new layer. I've been in this cocoon for the last several months writing and surrounding myself with people that are kind of in the same space to launch this project. And I'm so close to breaking through that cocoon, and the butterfly will be the book that I hope really blesses midlife women, so that you know it's never too late to step forward and pursue those things that you really want to do, whatever those are for you. So I asked myself a question several years ago: who am I? Who am I now? Who am I really now? And what's next? I was now midlife, and thoughts started to shift and swirl in my mind. Thoughts about what's next for me? What's next for us? So as I pondered, I started asking myself a series of questions long before we hit our crisis, our major midlife unwinding. And I've talked about that on other podcast episodes. But we had raised 4 wonderful children, and I was at a place where I still felt young enough to pursue something new, something different. I was no longer attached to my home or location, because by this point we had moved several times. And I was feeling restless and wanting a new adventure. And even though at this point I'd returned to work, I wanted something more. I wanted to go find the girl who believed she could. So I started digging deeper and asking myself a series of questions. What do I really want to do with my one wild and precious life, as Mary Oliver said? Where do I want to be in 5, 10, 15 years? Where do I want to live? What goals do I still want to accomplish? And how can I step forward and pursue my dreams, those things that are important to me? As I was stepping into this new season and new chapter of my life, I realized that I definitely had some unfinished dreams and goals. They'd just been lying dormant for a long time because I'd been so busy taking care of everyone else. Perhaps you've been in that place too. So I decided to spend some time and figure out the answers to all my questions. I have a very active mind anyway. I gave myself permission to try on many different shoes, so to speak, to try to figure out what I wanted to do and to see which shoe fit. What shoe would be fun, adventurous, and creative, perhaps even a little radical. At this point, I felt like I had nothing to lose. We'd already been through so much, and it was time to start having some fun. So how did I start? Where did I start? Well, I just started. I started right where I was with what I had. And I got really curious. I just tried things. Messy as it may have been through it all, I just tried a lot of different things that sparked my interest. I started out by getting my real estate license, then playing tennis, riding horses, saying yes to things that my friends asked me if I wanted to try. And then I went to work at SoulCycle because I loved exercising and it would be free and I wanted to help people. Then I went to Nordstrom. We moved and I started to help my mom with a business. And that venture failed in more ways than one. and I learned so much through it all. This is life. We try, we fail, we rise up. We step forward and we try again. And then COVID hit. Well, that was a whole new level of disruption for all of us, wasn't it? I started asking myself a whole nother level of questions and what's next and who am I and where do I go from here? I was so grateful during that time, particularly for Jamie Curran-Lima and Brendan Burchard, who started to go live every day and inspire others with positive, uplifting thoughts and talking about life. At that moment, they saved my spirit. In that darkness, I learned so much, including remembering what really set my soul on fire. I realized how much I love personal growth and human development. And I love hearing other people's stories because I believe we all have a story inside of us. A story from where we were, where we've been, to where we are now. And that truly lights me up. So curiosity was really beginning to rise. I could feel some excitement and joy inside my soul. I could feel the passion returning, a spark, a flame that was beginning to kindle. And through it all, I wrote. Not only was it cathartic, healing, and empowering, but it was a journey back to myself. As I wrote, words flowed from my heart and head down through my hand and onto paper. And I realized I was going to be okay. We were going to be okay. John Wooden has a quote that says, "Failure isn't fatal, but failure to change might be." And I started thinking about that because failure's interesting, isn't it? I mean, logically, I knew I was not a failure. I understood that the crisis we had been through the past several years was just a result of failed events and decisions we made in response to those events. I also knew this crisis wasn't going to kill me, even though there were definitely moments where I felt like it was going to. But thank God I had been in this place before. I had experienced other failures and disappointments in my life, so I knew I was equipped to handle it. I understood resilience. It's one of my superpowers. And I knew I could start again. I knew at some point light would shine again, one way or another. However, through this process, I knew that things could not remain the same. They had to change. I had to change. We had to change. I had been helping everyone else for so long that I really forgot who I was. I forgot what I really enjoyed doing and what set my soul on fire. I forgot what I was really capable of doing. I tucked away so many of my own dreams for so long that they were lying dormant. So I decided to step forward and go find that girl who had dreams of her own. I decided I was going to make my mess a message for others and turn that mess into magnificence. Maybe you've been in this place too. And maybe you know that girl who has dreams of her own. The girl who wanted to write a book or speak. The girl who wanted to finish college. The girl who wanted to start her own business. The girl who wanted to start a podcast. The girl who wanted a new adventure, who wanted to travel and wanted to open her arms wide and embrace opportunity. And now, the grown woman who realized in her 50s that there had to be more to life. Does that sound like you? If it does, you're not alone. I hope you know that when you're in this place, when the house is now quiet, from the time it was once chaotic and busy, when you were so busy you hardly had time to think straight, and now in this transition, stepping into this new season of life, being an empty nester, starting again, there's room for you to rediscover who you are, to restart, reignite those passions and goals. You've already felt a whisper or a prompting in your soul. You were likely just too busy helping everybody else to really pay attention to it. And the goal for me is to help you revive those dreams and goals and believe that it's definitely never too late and to help you pursue them. You have permission to step forward. You have permission to make mistakes and fail and stand up and try again. And you have permission to soar. This is your time to enjoy your life. My book will be out soon, and there's so many tools in there to help you step forward. I know it's possible because I have lived it, and I have met so many amazing women along the way who are doing really amazing things in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, including me. So let's show the world what women can do at any age. Whatever that is for you, it's time to step forward. Know that you are seen, you are heard, you are loved, and you belong. God bless until we meet next time. Thank you so much for listening in today. I hope this message blessed your heart and soul, and I hope you feel encouraged and inspired to step forward with your life in this season of life. My book will be out soon, so continue to follow along on Instagram at Hello Redlow, and then also my personal Facebook page, Terry Mullen, and the Hello Redlow Facebook page. And feel free to DM me if you have any questions or thoughts. I'd love to hear from you. And until we meet again, have an amazing day.